lovely people, I want to welcome you today to this show, and I want particularly to talk about how you deal with stressful moments. I know you're out there, maybe you have dealt with these moments, and one of the things that stand out is that maybe you don't know how to control these stressful moments. It is really so hard for you to be able to control these stressful moments because I'm assuming you're out there. Like now, I want to give you a story. It was a Saturday afternoon that I went somewhere with my friend, and I'm just scrolling through my phone, and I'm seeing that the news in is that the school bus where my son's schools has gotten an accident. I'm telling you, the feeling is so bad that you feel that you're not breathing at that particular moment. But in real sense, of course you're breathing. But you feel that the heart has stopped pumping. The heart has stopped completely. But now, there could be that many of you out there who are going through this kind of situations. Because as for me, even my friend noticed, what is going on? What are you reading on your phone? And I'm like, I'm reading a very sad news that one of the buses have gotten in an accident. And this is the school that my son goes. So she's like, are you sure? I said, yes, I don't know what to do right now. I was confused. These situations usually brings a lot of confusion. They bring a lot of emotions because you're torn in between. You don't know whether you're sad, you don't know whether to cry, you don't know whether to relax, you don't even know what to do next. So I want to give you tips on how you can handle these stressful moments. Because I know we are many. There are so many people who have gone through these stressful moments. And let me tell you something. There are people out there who don't know how to break the news. You know? Someone comes in and tells you, you know what? Or she calls you or he calls you over the phone. And they are breaking the news. They are telling you, you know what? Your mama's passed on. You're like, what? You like, don't breathe for a minute. It is quite, there are people who don't know how to break the news. And in one of when I was schooling, one of these days, there's a unit that we did that is called Death and Dying. So how do you, as a person, how do you break the news, or as a professional, how do you break the news to a dying person? How do you tell them that the stage of cancer that you have right now, you can't survive, you are going to die, so that they can start preparing for their death? Remember, even dying people, they need to prepare for their death. But many people don't know about this. As well as, there are those doctors, nurses who can come and just break the news anyhow. They just tell you the patient you are with or the patient you're looking after is dead. How do you deal with such kind of situations? You have found yourself in such kind of situation. And I know there are so many people who have gone through these situations. And at that particular moment, you don't know what to do. So, this is how I come in to give you some tips on how you can control your emotions at that particular time, or how you can control stress at that particular time. Remember, some of these stresses are inevitable. It is not something you can plan that now I want so and so to die, or I want so and so, I want this and that to happen. These are things that you cannot control. They can be natural disasters. They can be things that are happening to your life that you don't know how to handle. So how do you handle, or how do you deal with this kind of stresses? Number one, identify the source of your stress. Remember, once you identify the source of your stress, at least you will know how to run. At least you will know how to handle or control such kind of stress, or how to manage. In fact, the proper word is how to manage. You will know how to manage. You will take the best decisions possible, because there are some stresses, or there are some situations which need you to take a decision or to make a decision. And for you to be able to make the amicable decision, you must know how to control these stresses. You must know where these stresses are coming from. Like now, for my situation, I identified the stress is coming from the news that I've received from the accident, about the accident. So, and therefore, I was able to take some few measures, like the very, very immediate, step that I took at that particular moment. I was standing when I was scrolling over the phone. I had to sit down, okay? Another thing, I had to breathe in and out. Breathing in and out exercise helps a lot. It's a therapy on its own. You breathe out, you breathe in, you breathe out. It's a therapy, because at the end of the day, you will feel your mind is relaxed. Now you can start thinking on what to do next, where else to go, what else to do from that particular point. So after identifying the stressors, or what has caused the stress, if it's from, you have lost a parent, you have lost your spouse, you have lost your child, or it's from an illness that you have in your body, you have been diagnosed with a certain illness that you didn't expect at all, or your parents or your child has been diagnosed with a certain disease. So at least you have identified the stress, where it's coming from. The next thing is, you can try to write a journal about it. You can jot something down about how you're feeling. Remember here, you're writing down about your emotions. Are you feeling sad? How are you feeling at that particular moment? Are you feeling disappointed? Are you feeling so low? Are you feeling that you're confused? What are the kind of emotions or the kind of feelings that you're feeling in your mind? These are the things that you should journal down, because it will help at the end of the day when you are coming to look at the situation. At least you will understand what is going on. Another thing that is very, very powerful is having the right attitude. Remember, you have this stress and you have the worst attitude. I mean, you have the negative attitude. Are you going to make the best decision? No. So the best thing is to have the right attitude. The right attitude will come in line with having a positive decision or a positive attitude. So, not everything that makes you sad, not everything that will make you cry, not everything that will break you down. Some of these things you can try to manage them while being positive. Like, for example, my situation. I was telling myself, I had a self-talk, by the way. Yes, unhealthy, positive self-talk. At that particular moment, when I finished with my friend, after explaining to my friend, and my friend, of course, gave some encouragement to me, then I felt that I have some strength within me. Then I had this self-talk, a positive self-talk. You know what does the positive self-talk does to you? It makes you, take the situation positively. Because many situations, and this is where many people are dying, because they are taking issues negatively. And therefore, they are sinking into depression, they are sinking into stresses, and these mental illnesses that we are talking about. And at the end of the day, they are not making it. Imagine you have received a news that you have lost one of your parents and you have sunk into depression. You have started drinking so heavily. You have started doing this and that. It is not a good sign. It's not a good sign. So, have the best attitude. Try to see around you. Try to see how you can have that positive self-talk. Because what I was telling myself is that, this could have happened, but I'm praying and hoping that my son is fine. Okay? I'm just praying and hoping and hoping that my son is okay. I had this positive attitude. Okay? So positive attitude builds the way you will handle these kind of stresses. Understand the role of these attitudes. Remember, I've talked about these attitudes and how they work. Once you have the positive one or negative one, it works in different ways. Now, examine your thought patterns. What do I mean? Examining your thought pattern is like you're trying to see. This time round, I was feeling very sad. That is your thought pattern. You are feeling very sad. You are thinking negatively. But at a time, you've changed your positive, you have changed the attitude to a positive one. You've started thinking positively. You have started putting things in a positive way. You have started saying, yeah, it's going to be okay. Things have happened this way. I didn't want it to go this way, but because of reasons that I cannot avoid, things have happened the way they have happened. So what am I going to do next? This one helps you to plan your next step. Remember, because you must take steps in you for to see how you can maneuver out of the situation that you are in. I talked about the essence of having a positive self-talk. Positive self-talk helps a lot. It helps you a lot because you are not seeing things as any other person. You're seeing things from a positive angle. This one makes your day. In fact, it makes things very easy for you. Now, remember, there are things that you cannot change. So, change what you can change. And the things that you cannot change, just don't deal with them. Because there are things, now, you have received a news that you, as spouse, is suffering from a certain illness. Can you change the situation? You have received the news that you have lost your parents. Can you change the situation? You can't change death. It is inevitable. It is something that has to happen at any particular point. So, the things that you cannot change, just let them be. Let them not give you any kind of stress. It has happened. It has happened. Kubali yaishe. Okay? Just try to, to accept and move on. Because the more you are dwelling in that negative situation, the more you are dwelling in that particular situation, the more you are worsening your emotions, the more you are having a negative emotions, which is not helping you in any way. Now, remember, there are so many things that you can do at this particular moment. The use of sleep is very, very important. Have enough sleep. It's not that when you're having a situation or when you're going through a moment or a situation, you're there, you don't want to sleep. Yeah? You're there, you don't want to sleep. It doesn't work like that. Have enough sleep. Try to find a way of sleeping. You can listen to a music. There's a video I did on how you can have the best sleep, or things that can help you to have the sleep. You can listen to a music. You can listen to preaching if you love preaching. You can listen to a motivational speaking. All this will make you have a good sleep. So make use of sleep. There's also one more thing. Eat a balanced diet. Not that now you have lost someone or something has happened, you're now going into depression or you're in stresses, now you cannot eat. What are you saying? You need to eat a balanced diet for you to fight what is going on or what is within you. You can do exercises if you can. If you're at a place where you can walk, you can jog, you can do something in the morning or in the evening as you want it. Therefore, you involving yourself into your hobbies, whatever you like doing. If you like reading, you can read. This is not a moment that you are now out of order. You don't want to do anything because of a situation. This is the time that you need to take control of yourself. This is the time that you need to be very, very creative in what you're doing. Create a new life plan. Remember, these things have happened. You have lost your parent. You are going to be an orphan, definitely, even when you're older, because there are things that your parents need or were doing to you. They were guiding you, they were giving you guidance, they were giving you advices, but now you won't find that one anymore. So you need to align your life from where you are. You don't need to think of the past. Now think from where you are. How are you going to create your life afterwards? Something has happened. You have lost your only child. How are you going to move on? How are you going to carry on? I know these things are so hard, as they are said, but they are doable, by the way. They are doable. You can try. Because instead of you sinking into these mental illnesses, instead of you dwelling on the negative things, on the negative situations, on the negative attitudes, you can decide to change your mindset and start thinking positively. And it will bear fruits, I'm telling you. It will bear a lot of fruits. Build resilience. How are you building your resilience? What kind of a person are you? What have you said to yourself? Are you going to dwell on what has happened, or you're moving on? You're going to move on from what has happened. So build your resilience. Yeah. Self-care is also another big factor. How do you take care of yourself? I see many people, once they are faced with a situation, they collapse. They don't want to shower. They don't want to eat. They don't want to sleep. They just want to look like they are just people who have been affected in this world. You can take care of yourself, by the way. Morning routines, that is exercises, washing yourself, taking care of yourself, drinking enough water. It is a step. It is a step in your recovery. Remember, these things are very doable. Okay? You can do meditation. Meditation also helps. In your meditation, you can ask all the questions that you want to ask. Once you just give yourself some few minutes, you just sit down and do nothing. Think about, reflect on a lot of issues. Then you will find yourself. Positive attitude, I've talked about that. Now, guys, you're there. You have gone through this situation and it has put you down. Today, I want you to rise up. Own up to the situation. Yes? Have the right attitude, the right mindset, and you move on. You don't dwell on what has happened. Plan your future. You have a future, remember? Even when you have lost everything, you can rise up again. You can pick up yourself and be somebody. Okay? This is what I wanted to tell you. I hope this video helps someone somewhere. From the Mind Talk Show, it's a bye-bye.